So with any piece of media existing, there is bound to be some erotic versions to exist on the internet. You know, have y'all ever heard of porn parodies? These are like basically you take your favorite franchise, it could be like Pokemon, the Lego movie, or even Dragon Ball, and you basically turn them into erotic fantasies and really exaggerated comedy. And some of these that we're gonna be looking at are probably some of the most unhinged stuff you might have seen in a while. And I'm not even joking, like I'm gonna just give you like a little sneak peek on what these are, because there is no way in hell, that this is real.
I was sent here by a perverted old scientist to taste the strongest puss in the universe.
Is that what you're saying?
Just wonderful.
So yeah, we are going to be looking at these parodies and look at them through a more critical sense and to analyze if they're actually faithful to their source material and they're not just making some like fan fiction levels of like storytelling here. Are they actually true interpretations of the show, or are they not? I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get onto our first parody. I think we're all familiar with Dragon Ball Z. We may have heard of it. We probably have watched it and noticed on the really big emphasis on probably because of the track record of Dragon Ball fans not being able to understand their own franchise. But y'all definitely have probably not watched Dragon Boob Z. Now let me tell y'all, I honestly did not know what to expect from this one. But apparently this one is coming from around 7 years ago with a lot of views, surprisingly. This one, but no, so basically just to give you a little summary about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball used to be a show about martial arts before it eventually just became some sort of like battle an alien from outer space every once in a while and have some really random power-ups here and then. That's basically what Dragon Ball is now. It used to be a show about that really dedicated a lot towards martial arts, which was cool. So basically, Dragon Boob Z, basically it follows a similar plot that is similar to Dragon Ball. Now, in typical Dragon Ball fashion, it basically starts off with our main characters at Kame House, and this Kame House is decorated with absolutely just wee-wees everywhere. I obviously cannot show you this. Maybe I could. I probably just have to censor it, but essentially imagine Kame House if it was just surrounded by a bunch of wieners like around, like basically that. And yeah, and as the camera zooms in into the Kame House, we have our main group. We basically have Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma basically in Kame House, just chilling. From what I'm assuming, they're basically they're just fucking around. They're just having a picnic.
Dinner is served. See when.
I'm saying it now.
You know, Piccolo sitting in a corner like usual. Yes, there is aura farming in this one. Yes, there is aura farming, and we have a Bulma who is wearing the original Dragon Ball fit, which is something that really doesn't make any sense. I think the directors of this parody didn't really know much about Bulma, so they just kind of like, let's just Google Bulma cosplay costume, and that's what they got. But hey, it's better than not having Bulma, like, you know, one of the most important Dragon Ball characters. So yeah, right about as when Goku and Vegeta are about to feast on their grub, there's a subtle mention towards launch from the original Dragon Ball.
I haven't eaten this well since lunch.
Actually, it's pronounced launch, Vegeta.
Lunch. Either way, she tastes delicious.
Which is kind of crazy, because how in the hell can a porn parody remember the character Launch, but not its own creator at the time? Like, what? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, Launch does not really get a whole love nowadays, and I'm pretty sure if you asked a Dragon Ball fan who currently just got into the series who the fuck is Launch, they probably wouldn't even know what the hell you're talking about. They probably think that you would be schizo. So apparently the White House is a thing in Dragon Ball, which is kind of crazy.
Where's everyone else?
Android 18 had to go Android number 1.
Is she in the bathroom?
No, she's at the White House. The president asked if we had anyone for his Android P party, and I said, you're in luck.
Kind of weird that Android 18 would be at the White House, but honestly, I could see that kind of working in some plot and like some filler episode in Dragon Ball. I could honestly see it. Yeah, but once our heroes are talking about Android 18 and where the hell she's at, why is she not joining the dinner, we are greeted with a TV announcement from the Capsule Corp.
Breaking news from the Coxel Corps.
Huh?
What?
Breaking news from the Coxel Corps Uranus Space Observation Center.
They could have found a better name, but you know, we'll take it. So Cox Corp announces that an alien from outer space is basically gonna invade Earth, and it's up to our heroes to basically stop them.
An oddly shaped spaceship has been spotted heading directly towards Earth's atmosphere and not the Earth's atmosphere from American Gladiators, as earlier reported.
Huh?
What?
The CCSOC was able to capture this photo of the object. I know that this news will come as a shock to many of you, seeing as how you are anime characters.
And Goku and Vegeta are constantly just like extremely flabbergasted by this information.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What?
Shut the fuck up!
They made an animation of just a flying wiener spaceship. You know, like think of Frieza's spaceship from Dragon Ball, but instead make it a wiener. Basically, make that shit a wiener, and it's basically flying towards Earth. And like honestly. I honestly, like, you know, I could not make this stuff up. I legit couldn't. Yeah, and after this, Goku and Vegeta are discussing who is gonna basically fight this evil alien first. And they try to discuss it with a rock, paper, scissors match.
Oh no! Not another evil, horny alien curved to the left on destroying the Earth.
It matters not what www bizarre sexy internet ad you place, Kakarot. What matters most is that we defeat this unwanted guest. But which of us will take on this giant space foe?
Gee, I don't know. How do we decide that, Vegeta?
We're to decide this in the same way that all ancient races have been making crucial decisions since the dawn of the universe.
Cock beats paper.
Fuck! Play with the same balls.
I don't know what is it, but why did that why did that line delivery feel so?
Fuck!
Bulma does come back from looking for Android 18 from the White House, and Piccolo is of course still aura farming.
Let me get off, put a drum on the Drake, little nigga running in the woods, night out.
And Bulma basically asks, like, where the hell is everybody? Like, you know, where are they at?
I can't believe these two barely ate any of the food that I made. Oh, hey, Piccolo.
Oh, it's you. I thought it was Gohan coming to bother me with his daddy issues again.
So in a big plot twist, it actually turns out the whole reason why Piccolo was basically just in that position of aura farming was actually to use his mind control, his Namekian mind control, to basically move a from the floor.
If you must know, I'm focusing my mean green brain machine on moving that weird weapon that I found in your nightstand.
Oh, yeah, totally a weapon.
So yeah, Piccolo is very determined to just fulfill his mind control duties.
I'm just gonna clean up this mess over here.
I can feel it.
I can feel it too.
So yes, our next scene cuts into the hyperbolic time chamber with Goku with Majin Buu. And and I just want you to hear like this dialogue exchange because
So let me get this straight, Majin Buu. You came to Earth just to find us. Is that what you're saying?
I was sent here by a perverted old scientist to taste the strongest puss in the universe.
So yeah, Majin Buu's task is not to turn everybody into candy, but more or less to taste the strongest puss in the universe. which is definitely a big, you know, we really are stretching far from the source material, but maybe this just could be like a different Majin Buu variant. Maybe this was created by another like demon from the demon realm. Okay, dude, even though this parody was like 7 years ago, it honestly amazes me like how much of like some really outdated names that they're referencing, like,
Baby, I'm gonna rock your Xenoverse.
you know, porn parodies are supposed to be cringe. And most of the time, you're not even there for the actual jokes. You might as well just be there for the gooning part. And after this scene, after pretty much all of this, it's basically, and Majin Buu and Goku get to have a little personal time.
Enough with this mindless get to know you chit chat small talk. Time to make sweet monkey love.
But yeah, there's pretty much nothing I can basically talk about more because the rest of the entire parody is basically just, you know, it's the smashing, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, you know what? What do I think of this parody? Does it actually somewhat follow the Dragon Ball source material to some degree? And I would say, you know what? It doesn't seem far off to say that this honestly could have been something that Toriyama could have probably wrote if he was a different person and was down bad at that time. You know, it has aliens invading Earth, it has Piccolo aura farming, and there's also the mention of Launch, one of the OG characters, so you know what? Fuck it. This is actually faithful to the fucking source material. Fuck it. Yeah, this is faithful, yeah. Dragon Ball Z? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now the next one we're going to be covering is, we're going to be covering a Walking Dead parody. Now, The Walking Dead at its core, it's basically about a franchise about surviving the horrors of the zombie apocalypse while also having to deal with the threat of humans as well. You know, there's some great characters in The Walking Dead, like Rick Grimes. And also Daryl is also pretty cool. And you know who else is cool? Negan. Now, I am gonna spoil some parts of Walking Dead here, so just be aware.
Got a bad feeling about this one, Shine.
Rick, she too good at dancing to kill, man.
I suppose.
With Rick, that's a walker in this kill.
Hell, you killed her.
But yeah, Walking Dead is honestly, it's a pretty great show. It's one of my favorite like pieces of media of all time. And the fact that it has a porn parody, this one's a bit strange. So in this parody, right, it basically follows in the arcs that take place during the all-out war arc of like The Walking Dead, which basically Rick Grimes is fighting against Negan, the leader of the Saviors, which by the way, Negan is one of the main villains of The Walking Dead throughout like the middle part of it. Negan is supposed to be a really charismatic, like kind of like doesn't give a fuck what he's doing.
Hot diggity dog! This place is magnificent. This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Pissing our pants yet? I hope you got your shitting pants on.
Look, everybody, it's Rick.
And I fed him spaghetti.
And Negan is a really funny character in the show. I think he's probably one of the best characters in that show, even though he's also the same reason why a lot of people quit the show, because he killed Glenn in the series, so. But let's also not forget, Negan was also in Tekken 7, so.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
But yeah, the plot of this basically has Carl, Rick's son, having to check up on Negan to see if he's not doing anything bad. But in the original timeline of The Walking Dead, Carl dies before Negan gets imprisoned. However, in this parody's timeline, it basically follows that somehow Carl is still alive for the meanwhile, right? But he is bit. Which Carl does follow the source material. He does get bit in the show. So Carl visits Negan in a jail cell, right? Negan stands up.
You didn't come here for a wellness check. Why are you here?
He honestly does look like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Like, dude, it's almost uncanny, dude. Like, what the hell? And Carl obviously does not trust Negan. No, Carl shows his bite mark to Negan, right?
What are you hiding, kid? Nothing. Show me your hands. There is a way to help you, kid, but you gotta trust me.
Trust you? After everything that you've done?
You don't have a choice, Carl.
And the dialogue followed up with Negan is just, it's very iconic. I'm telling you, this shit is very iconic.
Some people have immunity to the wildfire virus.
Ooh.
You need my DNA.
So like a blood transfusion.
You need my deep inside you.
Is this real? So yeah, basically, Negan mentions that the only way to cure Carl of the zombie virus, you know, of his inevitable infection, is to basically put his own seed inside Carl, which is just like, okay, I mean, but here's the thing, right? I will have to criticize him on one thing. It has never been explained in The Walking Dead if there was ever a cure. Maybe there was efforts, but in general, there doesn't seem to be a general cure for the zombie virus because everybody in The Walking Dead is infected. You know, it doesn't matter if you die just normally, you are still gonna turn into a zombie no matter what. So it honestly does not really make any sense why Negan, of all people, would be the one to be the chosen one. But listen though, listen, I don't want to spend too much time on this one because this one doesn't really seem more of a parody, because this one just kind of seems like more of just like more lean on more towards the corn part rather than the parody side. And honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because I feel like The Walking Dead is extremely allergic to just having a good, faithful adaptation, and that couldn't be even more further from the truth. The only thing this parody has going for is the Negan actor literally looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Literally the hardest part. So try to stay hard. But you stay hard and then.
And also the you need my DNA line and that whole exchange was the only thing that really carried it. But in terms of like overall faithfulness, they really didn't carry through. You know, it's really disappointing. The Walking Dead is truly allergic to just live action adaptations. I'm sorry. Like I'm genuinely sorry, but no, this one is not faithful.
Gonna taste my venom. I got that venom, not knowing.
Alright, so for the next parody I'm going to be showing you, I'm not going to spend too much on this one as well, because, I mean, because this one is about Venom, you know, everybody's favorite Spider-Man Marvel character as of late, for the wrong reasons, right? So, you know how we covered Dragon Ball Z, right? Those parodies are made by Wood Rocket Studios or whatever, right? Wood Rocket makes a lot of parodies, you know, they even made one, for SpongeBob.
You want me to do what, SpongeBob?
Give me a sponge, baby, Sandy.
The fuck? No!
I'm glad that I live on the glorious planet Earth, man. So now, let me tell you guys about this Venom parody in particular, right? So, there's not a lot I can tell you about this one because I saw this parody like falling through, right? Just to see what I can talk about it. And guys, unfortunately, this one is not it because there's just a lot of parts in between this parody that just they're just not safe for work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could show y'all, but I can't. But what I can show you is that they did the studio that made this, they did post the trailer on it for YouTube. And you know, basically to sum it up, just from my own memory, right? This basically follows the 2018 Venom movie. It makes the whole twist of the story basically have around that Venom is just essentially just some sex monster.
Hi, Carlton Drake, discovering a weird alien dick thing.
And basically, I mean, can you even guess? Can you even guess?
What in the name of Galactus is that?
We are Venom.
A holy alien ship.
Oh my god, man, dude, this is why I love Venom, man. Like, he's honestly one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, man. You know, you just cannot hate Venom, bro. You just...
The milk, caliente!
I love it, but I will have to unfortunately get into why I kind of don't really like this parody, right? Basically, my main problem with this one is that, like, I just cannot even tell you guys about it because this will probably get the video age restricted, like, really quick. From a film critic like myself, I think the lighting is just, it's way too dark, man. It's like going into a light show with no lights. But one thing I do like about this one is like the dialogue is just, it's stupid. Which is exactly what a Venom parody should be, right?
Now let's make your dork angry and turn him into a big veiny monster.
But look, at the end of the day, this parody does end up following at least Venom because, you know, it's really not hard to adapt Venom. I mean, all you really need to adapt Venom is just have him have a tongue and you know, be Venom. I mean, it's really not that hard. To some degree, it is faithful, but I don't know, man. Alright, now for the final one that we're gonna be covering is a Pokemon parody, which is called Strokemon. Strokemon also, you know, it dropped a while ago and with 2.5 million views. Basically, to give you the plot summary, it basically has the main cast, Ash Ketchum, Misty, Brock, and Pikachu.
Brother,
I'm telling you, dude, the Pikachu looks absolutely terrifying. Our group is essentially looking at this weird Pokemon. Also, you have to mention this, right? They're not called Pokemon in here. They're called Strokemon. They're looking at this Strokemon, which is essentially like this. Supposed to be like this fleshlight that just kind of says its own name.
It looks like it could cause more damage than an episode of Dr. Oz.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing. It's too close to cross level.
Suck you dry.
So the group is discussing like what to do with it. Should we like catch it? Should we battle with it?
Ash, why don't you just send Pikachu in there to fight it?
What? No way, Fisty. I'll just whip out my Pikachu in public and wave it around all willy-nilly.
You know, despite this being a porn parody, I'm glad that at least some of the characters have some decency, normality, morals, you know? And that's when Ash pulls up his Strokey Dex.
First, I need to know what type of Strokemon that is before I figure out how I'm gonna capture it.
Better use your Strokedex.
Hey, that's a good idea, Cock. I will.
The Suck You Dry. This Strokemon is typically found scrummaging through bedrooms for anything it can get its tonsils on.
Also, out of nowhere, we just completely just have like the whole cast mention Breaking Bad.
Hey, thanks, Strokey Dex.
Don't mention it, bitch.
He's been binge watching Breaking Bad on the Strokey Dex Netflix app.
That is a great fucking show.
Put your dick away, Walter.
Basically, how this Pokemon battle plays out, right, is that Ash brings out his Pokemon from the Strokey Dex, right, and basically another sex toy. Its power is having the powers of a Squirtle.
Squirtle, I choose you. Use your squirt powers.
Squirtle.
It's a pretty exciting battle. Some say it's probably way better than the battle that took between Avengers Endgame of like Captain America versus Thanos. I honestly would not disagree with you. Also, on top of that too, we also get to hear some of Pikachu's most extravagant lines of all time.
Diga diga, diga diga diga, diga, Pikachu, 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 diga diga diga, Pikachu, 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 diga diga, diga diga.
Wow, Pikachu. Thanks.
Ah, man, you know, sometimes I just think I just missed the Smosh Pokemon parody instead of this, you know?
Alright, Pikachu, annihilate him with a Thunder Shock! Pikachu!
Basically, once Ash is basically done battling the Strokemon, right? Like, Brock is essentially has an appointment with Nurse Joy, right? And he basically says, like, the greatest piece of dialogue of all time.
How about we all go with you? No! Today, Cock is going to enjoy some cock time. What?
Also, I think it's also the same guy that also played Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z.
Fuck!
Which is... Absolute cinema. So we are presented with a little side quest for Brock, and he goes to the gym.
I didn't think you were ever gonna show up.
I'm sorry I'm late. Come on, stroke of people time.
SBT.
Yeah, but I finally came.
No, you haven't come yet.
Also, Brock, upon hearing about this information, you know, he just opens his eyes.
Oh, now turn your head and cough.
And after this, Team Rocket shows up in this one as well, surprisingly, right? And
What's happening?
Allow us to stroke-a-deuce ourselves.
Look how they massacred my boy, dude. Oh no, James.
Screw the world out of masturbation.
To make sex only about procreation.
If you want a taste of cum just for kicks.
Then you can eat a bag of dicks.
Jizzy.
Jams.
Why did they massacre my boy like that? No. James, no!
Then you can eat a bag of dicks.
The whole Team Rocket battle goes out as just Pikachu uses their like electric power. And by electric power, it's spraying
Dika.
Uh-oh.
Dika.
You know, switch Squirtle's powers with Pikachu, and that's basically what it is. Yeah, our cast defeats Team Rocket. Team Rocket goes away. And yeah, I mean, this does seem pretty good. I mean, this is looking pretty freaking good. You know, some say that this could be better than that Detective Pikachu movie. I never seen that movie. So Misty wants to reward the team with a certain reward, right?
Well, that was pretty brave.
It was nothing.
I know. I was talking to Pikachu.
Is this nigga serious? You know, that's all cool and all right, but it's kind of weird that she also wants to include Pikachu in here too.
Well, it seems like my hero and her sidekick deserve a hero's present.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
I really do not understand why someone would look at this thing and think, yes, I want to breed that. I want to breed this thing. Like, listen, I know a few homies that would hit, but like, I just like me personally, I would not do Pikachu. That's just completely out of the realm of possibilities. It's not happening.
No matter what I do, all I think about is you.
After this scene, man, I'ma just be honest. You already know what goes down. I can't really show you the rest of it.
Then you can eat a bag of dicks.
I think this just ends our little endeavors into the world of porn parodies. They're definitely some of the most interesting form of media that you can consume. And listen, y'all, like this video was really hard to put out because, I mean, dude, I have to constantly censor everything that these people might do in these films, but you know, it is what it is. There was some stuff that I was gonna cover in here, but I thought that would just make the video entirely too fucking long. So if you guys want a part 2 of it, please let me know. I don't think any of y'all would want it, but I'm just saying. So anyways, y'all, have yourselves a damn fucking good one, and peace out, y'all.